Looking for more hot chocolate bomb ideas? Well, in this video, I'm sharing some hot chocolate bomb ideas that are perfect for this springy time of year. If you haven't yet seen my other hot chocolate bomb videos, make sure to check out the links in the video description below. What's your favorite kind of hot chocolate bomb to make? Let me know in the comments below. Our first hot chocolate bomb is a Baileys and Mint pot of gold for St. Patrick's Day. We're going to start by making the shells. Add about 1.5 cups of Ghirardelli dark chocolate melting wafers to a microwave-safe bowl. Microwave in 15 to 30 second increments until completely melted. After the first 2 heating sessions, add about 1 to 2 teaspoons of black food gel to the chocolate. Mix it in and then continue heating until all the chocolate is completely melted. Next, spoon some of the chocolate mixture into a large hot chocolate bomb mold. Brush the chocolate up the sides, gently tap the mold on the counter, and then place them in the freezer for 1 to 2 minutes or until it's completely hardened. Now we're brushing some more chocolate on the sides in order to reinforce them. Then, freezing for another 1 to 2 minutes. Once they're completely set, pop them out of the molds, use either a hot pan or a plate and kitchen torch to smooth the edges, place them on parchment paper, and then set them aside for now. Pour the remaining melted chocolate onto a piece of parchment paper and spread it into an even layer about 1/16 of an inch thick. Let it almost completely harden and then cut a few circles using a Wilton D-size circle fondant cutter, a few circles with a Wilton C-size fondant cutter, and then a few circles using a Wilton B-size circle fondant cutter with the D-size cutter placed evenly in the center. When removing all the circles, be very careful so they don't break, especially the circles made using the 2 fondant cutters because they're more delicate. Now we're going to cut our half spheres. Make sure that the open end is flat on a piece of parchment paper. For the shells that will be the bottom halves of the pots, we're using the Wilton size D circle fondant cutter. We're going to heat the fondant cutter so that we can place it on top of the half sphere and cut off the rounded top. Make sure to use something to hold the fondant cutter while doing this because it will be extremely hot and can definitely burn you. Here I'm using my food tweezers to hold the cutter and then heating it up with my kitchen torch. Work diligently but also carefully while placing the cutter on top. You may need to grab a flat tool, like a butter knife for example, and very gently press on top of the cutter to help it. If you feel resistance, you can use your kitchen torch to very quickly heat the top of the cutter. Be careful, if you're too close to the chocolate, you'll melt it and ruin that piece. Once you're through the dough, wipe off the cutter and repeat with the rest of your bottom shells. Now, you're going to do the exact same thing with the other half shells that will be the tops of our pots of gold. However, this time we're using a Wilton C-size fondant cutter. Now that all of the half spheres have been cut, flip them upside down on the parchment paper. We're taking the small circles we cut earlier and placing them in the bottom shells. Then, place the next largest circles in the top shells. Add some of the excess melted chocolate to a piping bag and pipe around the perimeter of the circles to ensure that the tops and bottoms will be completely sealed. Here comes the easiest part. To each bomb, we're adding 1 ounce of Baileys and half a teaspoon of mint extract. Once they're filled, we're using a food brush to brush chocolate along the edge of the bottom hot chocolate bomb piece. Before the chocolate sets, place the other chocolate shell piece on top. We're then using the food brush to brush excess melted chocolate onto the sides of the bomb to ensure that all open spots are fully sealed. After all, we don't want any mint and Baileys to escape until it's time to enjoy our hot chocolate bomb. Along the top seam of the hot chocolate bomb, brush some more melted chocolate. Before that sets, add the open circle we created earlier with the 2 fondant cutters. That will create the lip of the pot, which will give a great detail to our finished bomb. And now it's time for us to decorate. Add extra melted chocolate to the top of the hot chocolate bomb. Before the chocolate sets, add a generous amount of gold sequin sprinkles to represent our gold coins. To add a little more height to the bomb, add another dollop of melted chocolate and more gold sprinkles. I felt like it needed a finishing touch, so I selected a few pieces from a rainbow sprinkle mix to add on top. I used the chocolate to adhere a rainbow sprinkle to the top of each bomb and then added 2 little cloud sprinkles on either side of the bottom of the rainbow. And there we have it, our awesome Baileys and Mint pot of gold hot chocolate bombs. For the next hot chocolate bomb, we're making some super cute Easter eggs. To start, melt a variety of bright colored candy melts such as pink, purple, yellow, blue, and green. If you'd like to see how I achieved these exact colors using Wilton candy melts, keep an eye out for a few short videos coming out very soon that show exactly how I got each color. Once those are ready, add a tiny bit of vegetable oil to thin them out slightly. This will make it easier for us to use the candy melts as edible paint. These egg molds already have stripes and polka dots, so we're using the candy melts and food brushes to paint these features. Have fun with it by mixing it and matching the bright, cheerful colors. Once the details are complete and have fully hardened, add one of the bright colors to be the base color of the egg. Use a food brush or spoon to brush the chocolate onto the side of the mold. Once all of your eggs are done, place the molds in the freezer for 1 to 2 minutes to allow the candy melts to set. Melt half a cup of Ghirardelli dark chocolate candy melts in a small microwave-safe bowl. Once they're completely melted, retrieve your egg molds from the freezer, add a spoon of chocolate to each mold, and brush the chocolate up the sides to completely coat the inside. Make sure to work quickly because the cold candy melts will quickly set the chocolate. Once again, place them in the freezer for 1 to 2 minutes until completely hardened. Now we're carefully removing them from the molds, then using either a hot pan or a plate and kitchen torch to clean up the open ends of the shell, and then placing them back on parchment paper to set. To fill these, I decided to try a new flavor, French vanilla. To each bomb, add 1 tablespoon of white hot chocolate powder and 1 tablespoon of French vanilla powdered creamer. Then, using the same candy melt color used for the base color of the Easter egg, brush some of the candy melts onto the edge and place the other half shell on top. I tried melting the edges on the top shell and then placing it on top, but this did not help them stick together as much as I would have hoped. Then we're using excess candy melts and a food brush to seal any and all open crevices. And just like that, our Easter egg hot chocolate bombs are complete. Our next hot chocolate bomb features some lovely simple decorations with a nice little surprise inside. Start by adding 1 to 1 1/4 cups of Ghirardelli dark chocolate melting wafers to a medium microwave safe mixing bowl and heat in the microwave in increments of 15 to 30 seconds until completely melted. Make sure to stir in between each heating. Add some of the melted chocolate to each cavity of a large hot chocolate bomb mold and brush the chocolate up the sides. Gently tap the mold on the counter to make sure that there are no air bubbles. Place the mold in the freezer for 1 to 2 minutes or until completely hardened. After removing the mold from the freezer, brush more melted chocolate onto the sides of the mold to help reinforce the shells when removing them from the mold. Place this back in the freezer for another 1 to 2 minutes to harden. After carefully removing the shells from the molds and cleaning up the edges, it's time for us to fill them. I decided to go with the same French vanilla flavor as the Easter egg hot chocolate bombs, but I also added a marshmallow peep inside. After using a food brush to add some melted chocolate to the bottom shells and placing the other shells on top, or once again using the food brush to add melted chocolate in order to ensure that the hot chocolate bomb is completely sealed. I made 2 sets of these because I wanted to show 2 different ways of decorating them. The first is just a simple drizzle of the melted chocolate over the top, and then some bright and lovely spring and Easter sprinkles. The second decoration idea is to take some of the pastel candy melts we used for the Easter egg hot chocolate bombs and use a food brush to paint flowers. To do this, simply dip a food brush into a pastel candy melt color, such as pink like I'm using here. Press the brush on top of the bomb and release pressure as you drag the brush. Repeat this process, making sure to drag the brush to the same spot to create the center of your flower. Once you do this once or even a few times, add a dot of yellow to the center of your flower or flowers to make it look complete. You can also try longer petal flowers like these purple ones, or even multi-layer petals like this blue flower. These are really lovely for spring and they of course make great gifts. That's all you need to make some really pretty Peep Surprise hot chocolate bombs. Before we get to the last hot chocolate bomb, make sure to hit that like button and click subscribe. Our final hot chocolate bomb for this video are these adorable little bunny hot chocolate bombs. I could not resist purchasing this mold because it's so darn cute. This also features a new hot chocolate bomb flavor I developed, cinnamon roll. That's why I also like to call these little cute bunnies Cinnabunny hot chocolate bombs. To start, we're adding 1 cup of Ghirardelli vanilla melting wafers to a medium-sized microwave-safe bowl. Melt this in the microwave in short increments of 15 to 30 seconds until it's completely melted. Make sure to stir in between each heating. Once the vanilla wafers are completely melted, add a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon and thoroughly mix it together. Next, we're spooning some of the vanilla and cinnamon mixture into our bunny mold. After tapping the mold on the counter to ensure any bubbles are removed, we're tilting the mold around to allow the cavities to get fully coated in the melting wafers. Once all the insides of the cavities are coated, flip the mold upside down and shake it out to allow excess vanilla and cinnamon mixture to flow onto a piece of parchment paper. Place the mold in the freezer for 1 to 2 minutes or until completely hardened. Next, we're using either a spoon or food brush to brush more vanilla and cinnamon mixture onto the sides of the mold. This will help reinforce the sides so that they should not break when demolding them. Once that's complete, pop them in the freezer for another 1 to 2 minutes until completely hardened. Now we're going to carefully separate the sides of the bunny shells from the sides of the mold, and then push on the bottom of the mold so that we can pop the bunnies out of the mold. Using a hot pan or a plate and a kitchen torch, gently melt the very bottom of the bunny bomb to clean up the edges. Set them on a piece of parchment paper to harden, which should only take about 30 seconds to 1 minute. Next, we're going to make the bottoms of the bunny bombs. Remelt the remaining vanilla and cinnamon melting wafers, pour it onto a piece of parchment paper, and spread it into a thin layer, around 1/16 of an inch or so. Once it's mostly hardened, we're taking one of the bunny shells and gently pressing onto the top to create an outline. Do this until you have as many bottoms as you need. Next, take a paring knife and cut along the outline you just created with the bunny shell. Once all the bottoms are cut, set them aside. Our little bunny shells are ready, so now we're going to fill them. To each bunny, we're adding 1½ tablespoons of white hot chocolate powder and an 1/8 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Now we're going to seal the bunny bombs. Once again, remelt the excess melting wafers. Using a food brush, brush a light line of the melting wafers on the edge of the bunny shell. Next, before the melting wafers set, place one of the bottoms onto the shell. We're using some of the excess melting wafers to then seal the bombs. Use the same food brush to brush a light layer of the melting wafers around the seam to ensure that all crevices are now completely sealed. I also decided to use a food-safe Candy Melt edible marker to color the eyes of the bunnies black. And there we have the absolutely adorable Cinnabunny hot chocolate bombs. You can also find these hot chocolate bombs on my website, adventuresanyum.net. The link is in the description below. If you're interested in checking out some of the products I used in this video, make sure to check out the video description below for their Amazon links. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time for another fun food adventure.